Welcome to the Bait Boys podcast, the podcast where the word prototype is really just baitmaker code for doesn't work right. My name is Jesse with Freek Baits Custom Fishing Lures, and as always, I am joined by my magnanimous co-hosts, Trevor from Peak Baits and Anthony from Lazy Baits Co. Gentlemen, how magnanimous are you feeling this evening?
I don't know what that means, but yes.
I'm feeling the ultimate level of it I can feel.
Perfect.
That's
exactly what I want.
Magnanimous magnitude.
Whoa. Wordsmithing over here. Trev spitting bars. We are also joined by Chris from Brothers Brimm Customs. Thank you for being here, Chris. We're really excited to jump in and talk with you. But how are you doing this evening?
I'm awesome. I'm rocking off of a pot and a half of coffee, a little bit of disdain and hatred for my day job, and yeah, that keeps me going, man. Kids are in school, it's chaos, you know. But no, I honest to God, I'm happy to be here, boys. I love what you're doing, and most knobs go to 10. This one goes to 11. So you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate that. Yeah, and again, thank you for agreeing to do this, despite having watched some of our previous episodes. And we're excited to jump in and learn more about the world of Brothers Brimm. But before we do that, I know I don't have any announcements, but did either of you other two yahoos have any announcements? We normally talk about this beforehand. You're getting the raw behind the scenes sausage making right now, but
dude,
if you
that's how it goes.
I finally got some nutlet molds made.
There we go.
I love that.
Who
name.
knows? Thanks. The other one's the nut runner. This is the nutlet. It's just a little nutlet.
That would be third to the chode. The chode by 8-bit or 8.
Wait,
no,
I was going to say bait and tackle.
Bait and tackle. Go
Joe.
away. I'm baiting. That's right.
Yep.
We talked about that episode. Yeah.
I wonder how the chode's doing. Huh. I'll have to ask him.
It needs to be a thing. It needs to be a thing.
That's what I said. I said don't give up on it. But like Jesse said, he's prototyping. Just doesn't work right.
It's like 40-year-old virgin. I don't understand. I just want to take it home so I can fish it.
So one of those nutlet molds going to be available for the.
Oh, you stop it! I have no idea.
Well, just keep in mind this episode's not going out for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, but you know me. Who knows? I still have to make a video. I have to make instructions. I have to I don't know.
It sounds like you better cancel your vacation.
Couple 2-3 weeks.
Fair enough. Well, yeah,
hopefully by the time this airs.
Yeah. If not, it's okay. It's okay.
If not, then a couple weeks after.
Or, couple business
I'd like
months.
to get it by fall because I think once that fall bite starts, kicking in, a good topwater bite, it's going to be a killer bait because it's so much fun. It's little. And it's just such a nice head wobble. And
yeah, those are going to kill.
Plus, I can fish it. So I'm like, well, I can at least fish it for right now. So I'm having fun.
What's the rough weight? What's the rough weight on it? It's a 2-piece, right?
Yeah, 2-piece. Shoot. I'm throwing it on a medium heavy. It's somewhere between like 1.5 and 2, I think.
Dude, you gonna put that micro profile out there? That's yeah. Sandwiches. They eat them. It's awesome. Fat girls come out in fall, man. I love it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Like this right now is like terrible. It's just starting to cool off.
Yeah.
So like maybe this week is going to be a little better, but like the last few weeks, it's just like they're shut down. All the fish are shut down with the heat, and they don't want anything. So even night fishing, I got like a couple fish, but once fall kicks in,
weird die off. There's that die off, and then fall, it's like apocalypse. They just go ape because they think, the English in winter are coming, so they hoard and eat everything they can. I'll have to call Jesse and be like, dude, get out there, because I'm northern Iowa, so I'll be like, dude, you're a couple weeks behind me. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like looking into the future for me. Yeah. Let me know. That's awesome. All right. Well, the nutlet molds on the way soon-ish sometime.
Yes.
Trevor, did you have anything you wanted to I know in our last, which we filmed, these are a little out of order. So not the last episode we filmed, but the last episode that aired, you dropped some pretty exciting news for everybody. Any updates on that you want
An
to share, or
update
you want
would
to save that for
be
later?
no, yeah, I could share it. I had mentioned that the goal was mid to end September to open, but after talking to all the necessary channels and the higher ups that really run in life, run stuff. Yeah, so the beginning of October, the first week, everything's gonna be good to go.
Damn,
There you
that's
go.
awesome.
That's great.
Exciting.
dude.
That is awesome.
Very
I'm gonna
exciting.
come out and sweep your floors for you, dude.
Okay.
You think I'm kidding? I'm gonna show up one day and be like, "I pay me in baits. It's fine."
I work
Alright.
here now. I live here now.
I'll
I
just
tried
have
to
you
hire-
tattoo my face, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I tried to hire someone else and pay them in coffee. They agreed and never showed.
Was it Cafe Bustelo?
I didn't care what it was, but they could have had that. They didn't even get the chance to reap their harvest.
I've done some
How
weird stuff for
inconsiderate.
coffee. I'd show up.
I thought it was a good deal.
Yeah, I'm down, dude. I've drank the coffee out of the weirdest places you can imagine.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Hell yeah, no,
Got to get that caffeine in.
dude. Life after
Cool.
30, it's a deal.
Oh yeah.
It just becomes a necessity. It's no longer a perk.
Oh yeah, you gotta keep things moving, and you sleep wrong, and your ankle hurts because you slept on your back. I don't know, dude. You wipe wrong, you're having a bad day.
Yeah. It's
It's the thing. It's
the
the real
smallest
thing.
things. It's the
That's
small
my
items.
problem.
Are you a front to back or back to front kind of guy, Anthony?
Whatever the stall allows. Depends how close the sides are and stuff. I might have to go from the front if the thing's too close. Yeah.
Porta Johns can be a deal too, man. Trust me.
Yeah. There's no tilt in my body. Jesse's disgusted.
No, we made it a solid 8 minutes in, and then I love it. No, I no complaints here. We're good. I'm just enjoying the
Just
ride.
toilet talk. That's all.
Just a little toilet humor. Nothing wrong with that. Cool. All right. Well, if we're done with that part, we'll move on to our giveaway sponsor this week, and I'm incredibly excited to say that our giveaway sponsor is also our guest this week, and that's Brothers Brimm Customs. So Matt has got some giveaway items. I'm not sure because we left it up to him to make the decision right at this point.
Matt?
So,
Chris.
did I say Matt? Why do I keep calling people Matt?
You did that last episode too.
I did it.
Hey, dude,
Matt's-
I'm used to.
I know
I
too
get
many
called by
Matts.
my government name all the time. It's Kinder, last name all the time. So hearing a first name, I get surprised. I think
Yeah,
my
ready
wife's
to
yelling
roast.
at me, man. It's all good. But
My God, I'm so sorry. I even talked in the last episode. I'm like, I don't even want to spell people's names wrong. And then I've called 2 people Matt because we've had like 7 Matts on the show.
Yeah,
But,
I'm like-
sorry.
I'm Captain TBI, so like my stuff gets all crossed up. So trust me, I mix things up all the time. And as discussed prior to the show, I'm like a ADD cocaine squirrel. So it's all good.
I apologize, but yeah, let's see what you
No.
got. Let's just move on
So-
from my embarrassing moment.
No, you're cool. So one of the things to kind of explain this and not be too long-winded, one of my pseudo hetero life mates and best friends and honestly like a business partner, Superpotamus Designs, Andy at Superpotamus Designs. His last name is Lewish, but I call him Lush. Him and I, we have a series of baits we design called the BS series. And what the BS series is it's everything that's counterculture to what you would normally expect in the fishing industry. It's read into the name, BS series. All right.
I
So
like it.
what that is we take things like lizard and we bring it to life. So I will be giving away 4 packs of the lizard. All right.
That is
Any color,
awesome.
whoever wins, I'll custom pour them and send them out to them. And then I love this thing. It works well on Ned, drop shot. I mean, I just want to put this in a bass's face like really bad. Yeah, because lizard. And then
Lizard.
the other thing I'll be giving away to one lucky winner, because this is just too cool not to. This is a custom painted swim bait here, brush tail. awesome action, a glide, really. Anyway, whatever. This has been a labor of love for me, and I finally finished it. But I love Japanese art, and I love neo-traditional, so I kind of, it's hard to see with the lighting here, but I will get you guys a good photo of this, and we'll give it away to somebody so they can put it in a fish's face hole.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank
That's
you so
wild.
much. That's incredible.
I don't know how you do that.
You know, I was dropped on my head a lot as a child. So,
All right, cool.
yeah, I had a
Good
lot of
explanation.
I don't know, man. I'm very much some people are very methodical in their design process. Some people are devil may care. I'm one of those weird people, man. If I have a vision in my head, I can do it. Right. And like, I'll see something and I run at it, man. I had an art teacher tell me when you were young, make art out of your mistakes. And so I just kind of run with that.
That's cool. That's cool. So we've got, you said a 4-pack of the lizards and
4-pack of
and
lizards and that one swim bait. And then, of course, I'll throw in a plethora of stickers. This is a new one I came up with. It's brilliant.
There's
Sick.
And
yeah.
another one.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'll throw a menagerie of stickers in there so they have some cool stuff. But yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. So are we doing one big winner, or we want to split that into two? It's up to you.
Well, 4 packs, right? So those could be 4 packs of lizards. 4 packs of lizards.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I will do 4 packs, full packs. Yeah, so they can throw a lizard at everyone. Slap people with them. I don't care. But no, I'm going to do 4 packs of those with stickers, and then we'll do one big giveaway with the swim bait.
All right.
Yeah.
So 5 winners altogether.
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's our biggest one so
That's
far.
awesome.
So that's very gracious
mega.
of you. Thank you very much. That's our, yeah.
No
So
worries, man. No worries.
Again, me, the guy
Thank
who
you.
talks all the time, I'm speechless. That's incredible. Thank you so much.
I know what fishing does for everybody, whether they want to say it or not. This is a connection for some people, it's therapeutic. For some people, they're fighting other demons and this is their way to get through it. For some people, it's just a way to just be quiet for 5 minutes, right? So whatever it is, this all adds to our mental health in a lot of ways, right? And it's a lot of things dudes don't want to talk about usually, right? So if these lures get somebody in a healthy space, doing something healthy and adds to their betterment, that's why I'm generous, man. I want people to live well, man. And this world's crazy enough, and that can add to it, right? So cool. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Absolutely. And very well said. Very, very well said. But yeah, so we've got 4 packs of custom color lizards and one incredible swim/glide bait, hand painted by Chris. I said it right that time.
Yeah.
By Chris and Brothers Brimm. And to enter, all you have to do, it's the same as our last few. All you have to do is go to the pinned post, which should be uploaded as of this episode going live on our Instagram. That's at Bait Boys Podcast. We'll make it a collaboration.
Yes.
Collaboration
like
post with Brothers Brimm Customs, to where whenever you go to that pin post, all you have to do is make sure that you're following both of us and then tag as many people as you want in the comments. Each tagged person counts as 1 entry for you. So tag anybody and everybody, because the more people you tag, the better your chances are to win one of these 5 giveaway packages that we are doing this week. So this episode will air on Sunday of this date, and we will run the giveaway through Friday of this date. So you have that long to enter, and then we'll announce the winner on Saturday of this date, because I have no idea what the days are. But through the magic of post-production, I will make sure that those get added in there. So yeah, don't miss out on this one. This is our biggest giveaway with the best chances to win some incredible stuff. Who doesn't want a lizard, right?
Lizard.
Like who?
Lizard.
Who doesn't want one of those? And then, I mean, that glide is, all of your stuff is incredible.
It's a
We'll
glide.
get into that.
In my brain, again, like, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into your artwork here in just a little bit, but yeah, make sure you enter the giveaway and don't miss out on this one.
I got something to help you with a name, because I am a loyal watcher of the podcast / listener. When I'm driving across Iowa, I've now legally changed my name to Trevor 5000.
Okay, Trevor 5000, got it. That will help me. Maybe we can just convince all of our guests to change their name to Trevor. That way I won't mess it up. Or change their name to Matt, because that's apparently the name I like to say.
Yeah, that's all
Trevor
you need.
5000, though, I'm telling you.
Trevor 5000.
Trevor 5K.
Yeah, boy. Warhammer
Yeah.
all day.
All right.
Moving on to our guest, Matt. I'm just kidding. I know.
Matt, Chris, Steve, Trev.
Matt, Chris, Steve, Trev 5000. That's right. Okay. So now moving on to our guest, Chris from Brothers Brimm Customs. Chris, once again, thank you for being here and agreeing to hang out with us tonight. And why don't you just let our audience know, if they don't already know, who you are and what you do?
Okay. So Chris Kinder, 1H. So what I do, essentially, I have a company called Brothers Brimm. And Brothers Brimm is hard to explain because I am the sole operator, proprietor, designer. However, it really is a cohort. If you've ever seen some of my stuff, I say tribe all the time, or the tribe. And what the tribe really is Brothers Brimm started with my brother and I. My brother Randy Kinder, and myself. And we have Antonio Vallejos, who was a Federation tournament fisherman out in Colorado, who's a contributor. He's actually going to be adding to my product line, and I'll get to that later. But we have a family, really, that's behind this. And so I may be the sole force driving it, but it is a tribe behind me that is pushing me. And it's a consortium of some of my best friends and really family, because if you're that close in my wheelhouse, you are family. But our tribe essentially keeps this thing rolling, and that's Brothers Brimm. Who I am is a madman. I was a punk rock kid who, let's do some life math here real quick. I've been in active duty Army for 17 years. I've been married 17 years, and I have a 17-year-old. So what do you think happened in my life that made me, decide to fight the good fight? No. Two things I've always loved in my life, man. I love art, right? I love art and music, whatever it could be. And I've always had a draw to service, man. Like I wanted to be a spy. I wanted to be Batman, but Trevor took that. So now I'm Punisher. But no, I always wanted to do something like that, man. I was like enamored with history and military and stuff like that. But I also was a really anti-establishment authority kind of kid. Like, I'm like, don't you tell me what to do. So yeah, join the Army. That made sense. But anyway, here I am 17 years later, and I find myself doing both, and it's weird how I got here. And it's even weirder how I became in love with fishing. Because that was my brother's jam, man. My brother was the resident bass fisherman, He caught his first fish in Echo Park in California when they were like slanging and serving. Like, this is the heyday of 90s LA. And my brother's at a gang-laden park bass fishing, Yeah, it kept us out of trouble, man. But through all that, I got a love of fishing, and I can't ever leave well enough be. So I started looking at fishing lures, and I'm like, I hate this. I want to make something of mine. I can do this. Let me just make something weird. And that actually starts from an even weirder story. My brother and I were at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs, and I had a Spider-Man toy that floated, right? And my brother loves bass fishing at the time. I could take it or leave it. I'm 9 years old, and this freaking 4-pound bass comes up and just obliterates Spider-Man. And I'm in fucking tears. I'm like, no, Spider-Man's gone, right? But my brother was just like, oh my God, that needs to be a thing, And so we were always kind of tinkering when it came to fishing, always trying to improve things, always trying to cut corners, trying to find an edge, And now when I go back to that moment, I'm like, that was amazing. I wish a 4-pounder would come up and swallow something that aggressive on a daily basis. Like, I chase that. But yeah, it just, fishing wasn't really my thing at first. And when I came home from my deployment to Afghanistan, I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to deal with anything. I didn't want to deal with anybody. And my wife was like, all right, pity party over. You good? She's like, enough of the FMRs. Let's get your butt up. You're going to get your ass out there and do something healthy. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Because she scares me. She makes the Lord very nervous. All right. She's like a 5-foot Norse woman. Just, yeah, evil. No, I love her to death. My wife loves to fish, dude, which I'm very fortunate. Like, we have paddle boards, kayaks. We go out. She outfishes me. I cry. It's cool. But yeah, she got me out of the house and was like, dude, you need to start fishing. And so I called up my brother, and I'm like, look, I don't know my elbow from my butthole right now. Please mentor me, guru me, right? And so I'd call him like every day. I started getting more and more into it. The conditions are this. What should I do? And he's like, just go out there. Just go. And I'm like, okay. And so I slowly but surely, it became my obsession, man. And through that, I started analyzing lures more. And my brother, he had this trilobite This is kind of what started it all. I'll show you real quick. This is the 7-inch Mondo version of it, but this is a creature bait, right? And it's phenomenal, man. It moves very well. It skips well. It was designed to skip, but it's like the perfect trailer, perfect all around, all use bait. And my brother almost burnt down his dorm room in college designing this thing. So he shelved it because he was, doing a professional life. He's out there working, and we came together at one point and we're like, why the hell do we not just bring that to life? And that started it, man. And I started painting obsessively. I started getting my hands on anything I had and repainting it, just going crazy. And now 90% of what I paint or do or produce is our proprietary stuff. So it's pretty cool, man. I know I went off on a diatribe there.
No,
but
yeah, you're good.
No, you're good.
Yeah. My brother and I are the heart and pulse of this. Andy from Superpotamus is a huge, huge part of it. I helped bring his stuff to life and put my twist on it, and we designed together. The Xenomorph, the baby Xeno, here, I got one behind me. This is the Mac Daddy Big Mama of it, right? So dude, I love this. It's a wake bait. It's phenomenal. Next Level Fishing just did a YouTube video on it, on the smaller one, the micro version, the 6-inch. This is the big 12-incher. It gets up to 14 inches. It's a grower, not a shower. Yeah, so he's going to take this out for muskie fishing here soon, so I'm really excited about that. But that was Andy's brainchild. He really wanted to bring that to life, and so I helped him get there. Our good friend Corbiger Bates, who's in a kind of cohort with me, he was the original guy kind of helping him, and I stepped in and kind of helped refine it. And I love collabing. I love working with the bait community. That's one of the most beautiful things about what we all do, is you meet some of the best people and you come up with some of the best ideas. And in my opinion, that's how it should be. There's nothing that we do that's secret, right? It's just effort and efficiency and who's willing to work to the nth degree, right? And through that, you meet some phenomenal makers, and sometimes that, like the chode, I might be able to pick that up and be like, dude, if you tweak your tail just a little, right, it'll swim better, right? And that's why what we should be doing. We should be propelling each other forward. It's like Wu-Tang, man. You guys remember Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang. Yeah. Got it on my arm. Yeah, Wu-Tang worked because it was 9 guys who worked together to propel each other. Not a single one took from one another. So we need more Wu-Tang. You know what I mean?
100%.
But got off on a track there. Now, Trev knows this one. This is my LOD worm. I love this thing. Trev knows it well. This was a long product of mine. I wanted a finesse lure that I could use in multiple applications. And the weird thing about the way I pour is I can literally adjust durometer all day. So I started off in soft plastics, really, really hardcore. And so I love layer, specialty pouring, open pouring. But I get like nerdy about the durometer. So when people are like, man, I really wish I had a more durable bait, but it had more flex or sway in it that potentially floats. I'm like, I'll do that. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm stupid enough to try. So let's go. But yeah, and the LOD worm, the cool thing about it is it's open pore. So you can make it hard for tails. You can make it firm, hardy, you can make it super soft. Go that Aaron Martin's route, and that fit that bill. But I started moving down into other things. And one of the other more successful baits that I've had is actually the Popopotamus. And this is a brainchild of Andy and I's. It literally, if you look at it, because nothing in the fishing industry is 100% new. If you took another popper in the industry and mashed it up to this, what do you think it would look like? You guys ever fish a Pop X? Right.
Nope.
So it is literally similar. Right. But the problem with the Pop X is it doesn't walk right. It will pop all day, but it does not walk or chop. Yeah. This thing will chop and walk in place. It's insane. And everybody gets scared by it because it looks like a freaking hippo. Well, Pablo Escobar wasn't scared of hippos, and you shouldn't be either. All right. One of the first paint series I did of this was literally the Pablo hippo. He had UV cocaine on his nose and it glowed. But no, this has been a phenomenal bait. It produces very well. But when I say that I try to bring stuff that's unconventional in a conventional way, that's what I'm doing, and I'm always trying to find a way to flip that art on its head, right? The truck stop sushi, when you get that from me, it literally comes in a sushi pack. It's awesome. I love it. So yeah, that's a big thing I'll get into later. But this one specifically, I'm doing an art series on, and they're all Japanese and neo-traditional art patterns. So that's awesome. Kind of cool. I went off. I'm sorry. What's up?
You're good. I'm on it. This is great. Anthony, were you going to say something? It sounded like you were.
I don't know, but maybe. I saw that on, who was fishing it on YouTube?
Thai Pig Patrol.
Big Patrol, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was getting smacked.
Absolutely.
It has crazy action, and looking at it, you wouldn't it's like you said, so unconventional, but functional, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I was just going to say, my whole thing with like bass fishing for a long time, why I felt like I didn't fit in, is my brother was like a tournament fisher for years, and it was good old boys, and so me being a little, prejudgmental, I was like, I'm a punk rock dude. These are a bunch of hillbillies, blah, 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 blah. I'm from Southern California. So dudes who swim bait fish look like me. You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, okay. So you don't have to fit a mold. Well, you don't have to do that with lures either. And so I try to get people to think outside the box always. I'm tired of seeing iCasts where people are ripping off JDM baits or small bait makers and replicating it and calling it something new. The XPS line at Bass Pro Shops, look at most garage bait builds and then go look at the XPS section. It's like, oh, I wonder where you got that from. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to spend my money, I'd rather support a garage bait builder all day who I know who's putting his love, sweat, and just unique idea into that,
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents of it.
And I know that whenever I first started getting back into fishing, it wasn't that long ago, probably 5 or 6 years. I used to fish a lot when I was a kid, but didn't for a while. When I was getting back into it and like trying to accumulate gear and stuff like that, I was like, why would anybody pay that much for a bait? Right. Like I'm going to get but now that I've been building baits for a couple of years, I completely agree. It's like, if I'm going to buy a bait now, it's going to be for, from a small time maker. Like it's going to be, if I'm not making it myself, I'm going to buy it from somebody else and support them because I know what that's like. I know what the struggle of being a small time guy is. And I think, I just wanted to inject that there, that I completely agree. And I think that that's a mentality that people don't think about whenever we've joked about it before. When you've got that rando on Facebook that says that's not worth $40, it's because you're not thinking about it the right way.
One of the greatest ways to look at this that I tell people, I'll give you 2 examples, one non-fishing, one fishing. If you've never built a table in your life, never built a table or custom furniture, and you see that $2,000 oak set and you're like, that is ridiculous, try to build it. Try to build it and then go look at that table again. I guarantee you will be like, it's worth every freaking dime, right? And the same thing can be said about lures. And when most people are scared, because it is precision tools, man, we all make surgical weapons, man, for bass destruction, right? And the way to look at that is, I spent 10 years fishing on a spinning rod. 10 years fishing a spinning rod. It took me forever to get down to the bait cast level, but then I immediately did that vertical leap like Americans do. Like when the Americans were going on a space shuttle mission, they designed a fucking pen that writes in space and down in the sea. And the Russians are like, I use pencil, right? So in that typical fashion, I ran into swim bait fishing and was like already on a 300 series, already looking at why rods in the parabolic bend, change it. And the reason why is I was fishing with my brother's Pal Max, and he had a Stratic combo on it. And if you know the Pal Max and the Stratic together with just primo line on it, I was like, oh my God, I can touch people with this. I can cast like a football field. I feel everything. I'm like, dude, it blew my mind. And the same thing is, it could be said with fishing lures, right? So people are like, that thing's insane. What would bite that? This works better than 90% of the things I've ever used in my life. So that's why that works, right? Yes, it looks like an alien. Is that ridiculous? I don't care. But that's just because I'm crazy. But it's the performance of it, though. Once you feel that and you get hit on that, it's addicting, dude. And after that point, you're like, yeah, I am going to upgrade my gear. I am going to invest more because it makes the experience better,
Yeah. And specifically when we're talking about lures, it's like, that came from somebody that worked hard on it.
100%. 100%.
That came from a person that worked hard on it. It's not, roto-molded plastic.
Yeah.
Nothing against that. I mean, there's plenty of great baits out there, but it's like, whenever you're buying something from a small time maker, that's like, you're getting a piece of them with it.
That's a hard thing too, because like, I love to see bait makers win. I love seeing guys win, right? Like, so what Michael's doing, and he's got his ABS thing going. That's awesome. That's really cool to see somebody go that far. Or like KGB, what he did with his deal, and the swamp trout now, I mean, it's cool to see that level, but from its origin, like you're talking about, I know I can reach out to Michael and be like, hey, I'm having a problem with my booty shaker on your rat. And he's like, oh, dude, twist it this way, or I'll send you a new one. You don't get that with freaking Strike King. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care. They don't care. They care about their overhead, you know? And me, if I was making money doing this, I wouldn't be doing it, you know? We were talking about it before. You know, I have people all the time ask me, what do I need to do to get into bait making? I'm like, all right, you paying attention, you listening? Take 10 grand, put it in a shredder. Make sure your wife is resenting you for every moment you take away from the family. Start there. And if you haven't contemplated throwing a microwave through a wall, just stop.
That's pretty accurate.
I've spent hours, like literally going to work, you know, because I'm an active duty military guy. I got places I got to be, whether I want to be there or not. Anyway, you know, that starts 9 o'clock on the dot, ends at 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes the job is the job regardless. And so I would get off from doing that. I do dad, put everybody to sleep, and then I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning making baits sometimes, you know, and yeah, that time that goes into it is insane, man. Yeah. Hallelujah Baits. I don't know if you've ever heard of Hallelujah, but he literally lives like in a smaller place, and he like builds his lures in a bathroom in a like tiny studio kind of setup, man. And he makes phenomenal baits, man. But where there's a will, there's a way, right? Yeah.
Yep. 100%. Let's take a minute. You mentioned your day job there for a second. So let's kind of take a sidestep to talk about that a little bit, because I do think it's important to recognize that you are active duty military, and thank you for your service. I know that people throw that around a lot, but I truly mean it. But do you mind talking about your day job a little bit? Because it sounds, I know you said earlier that you were, sometimes you hate it, and I think we're all kind of like that about our day jobs, but I would love to hear more about yours, if you don't mind talking about it.
No, absolutely, man. And thank you for saying that. You know, thank you for your service. I know we hear it a lot, but at the same time, my generation of military, every generation suffers so the next generation can be better. Like in America, period. You know, our fathers, our mothers busted their ass so we could have a better day, right? And we try to do that for our children. The military is the same way. So our generation of military is extremely spoiled. And what I mean is, the Vietnam veterans, the Korean veterans, those guys, when I see them, I shake their hand every time. And it's just because they went through a lot so we could have all the benefits we have nowadays, you know? And they didn't get told thank you. You know, a lot of people had animosity towards them and spit on them, and it just went through a bad way, man. And because they suffered, that next Gulf generation prospered. And because they suffered with education benefits, my generation was able to reap into that. And it's a perpetual thing of the military having a way of taking care of itself. But I joke around about it, and I'm like, yeah, I had a kid and that's why I joined. But I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Like, my life was going to go one or two ways. I was either going to be in an orange jumpsuit or I was going to be in a uniform. And that's just because that's how my life was going at that point. I'm an all or nothing guy. And whether that's good or bad, I'm an all or nothing guy, right? And so I felt a calling, man. I was in high school when 9/11 happened, and we had moved to Colorado at that point. And I just remember, you know, NORAD being close by, Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado Springs. That's where they used to hold the missiles, and there's F-16s going crazy. And I remember seeing the horror in everyone's face and the fear. And I wasn't scared, man. And I'm not saying that to be cool. It was like, I felt like if you're capable of fighting, you're capable of defense. That's awesome. Usually the most capable guy in a room, a jiu-jitsu guy, is the calmest guy in the room, right? Nicest guy you'll meet. The reason why is he knows what he's willing to do, right? At that moment, I knew what I was willing to do. And in a corny way, that's what kind of pushed me to service. You know, I just felt driven to it. And thankfully, my wife talked some sense into me, because I walked in the recruiter's office and I'm like, Airborne Ranger, leaving tomorrow. Let's do this. And she was like, no. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what's your deal? And she's like, you took the ASVAB. You did really well on it. You might want a day job afterwards. And that's not fair to infantry, what I know now, because those guys can do amazing things when they leave the service. However, I listened to my wife and I became a communicator. So I'm a tactical comms guy. That's what I do. So when infantry goes out in the battlefield, artillery goes out on the battlefield, I'm right there with them, making sure they can talk. And I love it, dude. Like, it's taken me to damn near 40 countries. I've been everywhere from the Middle East to Japan to Europe. You know, for a kid who grew up where I did in the situation I did, I never would have thought that was possible. The other crazy thing is I joined with a GED, man. My home life was kind of rough, and I had to make a decision, and that was the decision I made. And now here I am sitting college educated, certified in 2 trades. I've got tech certs. Still don't know a damn thing, but I got them. But no, it's just the military, for as much as it's given to me, it takes, and it takes a strong person to do the career route. And, we're all a little crazy. But I love it, man. I love developing other people, watching people grow. That's the stuff I love about the military, man. When you see your soldiers outgrow you, you're doing something right. And it's been really cool because I haven't had a lot of cheerleading in my life, beyond my brother, my wife, my dad. I'm a small little nucleus, right? Not a lot of people were like, yeah, go out there and get it. They were like, you suck and you're going to be a burnout. And I'm like, yep. So doing what I do in the Army, I've been able to really take people from mixed backgrounds, really bad backgrounds, and be like, no, man, you can evolve from that. You can be stronger, and it's been beautiful, watching that grow. A big thing that why I had animosity towards service for a long time is you got to understand the GWAT era. We went over and fought in something that we couldn't really make sense out of. Right. A lot of people went over there just following orders, and you're protecting the guy to your right and your left. You could give a shit about politics. Right. But you come home and people are throwing full bags of McDonald's on the ground. Well, in Iraq and Afghanistan, that could kill you. That could be an IED. And just the disrespect too. Like, it's hard not to be pretentious, but you come home and you can't relate to normal people anymore. You get angry at normal people. You get angry at your situation. Like, why did I go there? This doesn't make sense. And then the way we pulled out of Afghanistan, oh man. You want to talk about spitting in people's face, man. That was brutal. It hit a lot of us hard. Felt like it was all for naught. But the reality of it is, being where I'm at now with 17 years in, being older, being more emotionally mature, having a sober mind, I can tell you there's no sense of war, and it will never make sense. But as long as we have people who are willing to rise to the call, protect the Constitution and the people, that's truly what it's about, and I'm proud to be behind that, man.
No, that's awesome. So to kind of follow up on that, do you feel, it may or may not, but do you feel like your time in the service up to date has impacted your bait making? Like, or whether it's your approach to it or your style or anything like that, has it impacted any facet of what you're doing with Brothers Brimm, or is it completely separate?
Yeah, and no, absolutely. So one of the most beautiful things that an undiagnosed, spectrum child like myself could ever get was to learn discipline, planning, and process, right? So one thing the military does phenomenally well, you could be a potato, dude, but you're going to be functional. Right. And I mean, our instructions, the MRE, when you eat it, it says lean against a rock or something. So if you can't follow that, we got bigger problems. But no, man, it's really helped me dial in and lock in process. As sometimes you can make one thing awesome one time, but you try to make that one thing 150 times, 200 times. And then it becomes real bait making, right? And not that anybody's not if they do one off. Like, I could never carve that catfish crankdown, dude. That was the coolest thing I'd seen in a long time, man. I've done things like that, but I mean, that's not my forte. And so when I see people who can do one-off stuff like that, Nate Marlins, yourself, Jesse, stuff like that, it's awesome. But for me, like, if I can make something functional and replicate it every time, and the tuning is limited and it works every time, like the military gave me that. How do you replicate a process and make it functional every time? The bad thing about that, though, is I get hyper focused. And because I have that no fail mindset, sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to stay up for 48 hours and make sure this is done. The inverse of that, though, too, is bait making has actually helped me with some of the things I've struggled with through my experiences in the military. So it's very therapeutic for me. When you're fishing, it's just fishing. You know what I mean? It's you lock in, and bait making is very much that way. You lock in, where I've had to learn, because I've been doing this kind of seriously for like 3 years now, 5 years in total. I'm finally learning balance, leave time to be dad, leave time to be present in other places of my life. But when I was brand new to it, man, like, I lived, slept, and ate bait making. My wife literally almost backhanded me out of the car one time because I'm like sanding resin in the car. And she's like, your kids are in the back. Like, really, dude? She's like, PPE, put some cover on. Maybe you don't want lung cancer. I'm like, no, it's cool. Yeah, man.
Always good to have somebody there to remind you, hey, yeah, idiot. If you want to keep
Yeah.
doing this for a while, you better take some precautions.
Had I joined the Navy, I would have learned the importance of the PPE because they care about protective measures and things like that. Army, we're a little slow. We just push through that thing. You know what I mean? My life doesn't matter as long as it's done. No, I'm just kidding.
Hold your breath, right?
Marines? Yeah. Dude, Marines they will not fail. They are trained. I love Marines, man. They are trained to literally see the mission through. Like I could tell a Marine run through a fucking door and they will. They'll do it. They'll ba-doom all day. Army will be like, there's a doorknob. But yeah.
My older brother is a Marine from the Gulf era. So yeah. I can confirm that that's the Marine mentality for sure.
I love them though, dude. I love them. They're awesome. But so it contributes a lot to my process, my functioning, and it also gives to my mental health, man. There's some things that honestly I've had to face and battle. Some of it's Army related, some of it's not, some of it's before the Army. And one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as a man is health and accountability. So if you're ever at a point to where you are becoming your own problem, life after 30, right? If you choose to hang on to some of the hangups you have in your life, you've got to draw a line in the sand and start living for you, right? Mm-hmm. You got to start investing in your own health. So prior to bait making, man, I was doing a lot of self-destructive things, man, to try to quote unquote cope, because that's the culture, and drink it away and don't talk about it. I decided to make a conscious decision to be the best I can be for the people around me and be as healthy as I can be. Not that I judge anybody else, but for me, that's what I realized bait making could be and fishing was, right? So I try to give that, and every bait I make is a healthy experience for somebody to get out and for just that moment while they're fishing, be the best version of themselves, you know?
Yeah, that's great. That just the whole concept of everything you just laid out, it makes a ton of sense, but it's cool to hear. And again, we do this, once, sometimes twice a week, and we hear all different stories and all different backgrounds and all different just walks of life and we're all from different backgrounds and to have different stories and different walks of life. It's just cool that we have this crazy world of, I call it an abusive relationship, bait making, because it's like it'll beat you down.
Yeah.
But you always come back for more because you love it, right? So it's just cool to hear that everybody, all types of people get into this, and we all have this commonality between this common thread that kind of brings us together. And that's what the show's, we joke around a lot and we do a lot of dumb stuff, but we really just, the whole idea of it is to bring some more tight knit element to the bait making space, and like you said earlier, help everybody. We all get better together. We all succeed. We can all succeed together faster than if we were trying to do it on our own.
Yeah.
So
not to get like crazy political or anything like that, because honestly, every day that I wear the uniform, I'm centralist. I don't care about what the top's doing. I don't care about left, right. I care about my function and protecting that Constitution, taking care of people, doing whatever my job is. But in bait making, you have fringe people, just like the military. Mm-hmm. You have people who sometimes come in and they get egos and they get protective, and they're like, this is my secret, you will not know. But one of the things I love about fishing in general and bait making is you could be sitting next to a janitor, and if he catches that PB, he wins the freaking day. You know what I mean? I could be a CEO sitting next to him rolling, skunks all day. I got a banana in my pocket on the boat. I don't know what's going on, but this guy's kicking my ass. And the reason why is it's about skill. It's about that passion that you're putting into it. It's an equalizer. It puts everybody on an equal playing field. And it doesn't matter if you're, that struggling addict or that guy who's got it all figured out, you can rue the day there, and you actually level with people better in that environment because it strips all the away, Mm-hmm. And bait making can be that way. I've met people in Germany. I've met people there's this phenomenal painter in the United Kingdom named Ben Hill. He does these beautiful craw paint jobs, and met him through bait making. I mean, it's just the people you can meet and the bridges it connects. It makes it very communal. And that's something our world in general is kind of missing. Like, we're that last generation pre-technology to where we remember latchkey, get outside and go fish, or get outside and get in trouble, come when the light's on, blah, 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 right? That's all dead. Everybody's glued to everything. So in a way, it's kind of rebuilding a community in a sense. And, it's human nature to kind of crave that.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well, let's talk about your baits for a little bit,
Yeah.
because you have a very broad variety of types of baits that you do. And it's not just baits, because you also do apparel and stickers and artwork. I noticed that because I was going through your website earlier today, and
That's cool, man.
it's just like you don't see a lot of that. It's usually people will have 5 or 6 types of baits and they'll do a lot of different color schemes or something like that. But you've got hard baits, soft baits, art, stickers, apparel, everything. Can you walk us through what brought you to that place of, I don't want to just do baits. I want to do baits, and not just a couple of baits, a lot of different baits and all these other things as well. What made you decide to take that approach?
I'm an extremely counterculture kind of dude. The music I listened to when I was younger, like not to sound like new hipster people, like I knew the band before they were cool, man. Ghost BC sold out. No, but I just was always drawn to things that were out of pocket, out of norm. Right. I never wanted to fit in a box, and I always wanted to push things to the element as far as I could. And when I was younger, art was all about rubbing in people's face, getting them to think. I want to challenge you. I want to get you invoked. Now, when I do it with Brothers Brimm, fishing is more than just chucking a lure out there and drinking beers out of a cooler and slod, all the crap people think about fishing who don't fish, right? It's more than that. It can be a lifestyle in itself, and it can be communal building. And there's other parables that come into fishing. Like, I was fishing one time, I was talking to this guy about Star Wars for 45 minutes. And he's like, "Oh, dude, I wouldn't even think you were a nerd like that." I'm like, "Oh, I got a D20 in my pocket right now, son. Let's go." So, like, it's just, there's so many different avenues that can tie back to the culture of fishing and how they intersect anime, tattooing, car culture. And so for me, it was like, I didn't want to just do that damn bluegill that everybody does. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like when I go to design a bait, I'm not like, let me mold a bluegill and do what 75 people before me have done. Andy and I literally have a lure coming out called the Nab. It's not a bluegill. And what it is, yeah. And it's a bluegill profile. If a xenomorph, if a face hugger ate a bluegill, that's what it looks like. Right. And I'll get you guys a picture. It's pretty sick, but it literally is a xenomorph bluegill. And the reason why we made it is we had this discussion one time, and one of our mutual friends is like, "Isn't this cool?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bluegill." Yep. Just like that third guy over there. It's bluegill. And yeah, that guy might do it well. That's awesome. But that's not us. We were like, the bluegill, not a bluegill. This is what we're doing. And so that's what kind of led me down the apparel, the art, everything. I can't help myself when I get an idea, or I get compulsive about it. I'm like, I have to do this. I have to push it out there. One of the dumbest things I've done recently is I saw this on a TikTok shop, just a little bulldozer. And I was like, oh, killdozer. I'm going to make a functional killdozer. So I made a functional killdozer, dude. It says tread harder. Yeah. And it's functional. But I do, like, all the art I've always made, I've always wanted to have a purpose, like either invoke thought or a use, right? And what we do in lure making is functional art. The stickers are an extension of that. The apparel is an extension of that. You shouldn't have to just go to Bass Pro Shops and get the Bass Pro Shops hat or Costa or whatever. Like when you wear a piece of my apparel, it's fishing, but it's sort of not. It kind of ties into another culture. And I love bridging those gaps together. Fishing is not just for one type of human being. It's for all. And I love exposing that. I love bringing my love of punk rock and counterculture into it. I love the metal edge that I bring into it. I love, like, I grew up listening to hardcore rap and anything heavy. So it's just like, I don't make sense, man. I'm a punk rock dude who's in the military. And that's kind of what I do with bait making. I make whatever the hell I want to make. But if I'm going to give it to another human being, it's got to be functional, it's got to be quality, and it's got to be an experience to them too. Because if I'm asking you to pay $80 to $100 for something, it should be worth it, And that's why, from my paint jobs to the function to the packaging, I go crazy. I made a series of those trilobites, and I put them in Newport boxes, and they were the mentholated edition.
I saw those.
I'm just always trying to do weird stuff, man.
That's cool.
And just to push what this could be on its head. I like making the whole concept an art piece. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
really
And I'll
what it-
say,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
No,
what it boils down
can
to is I'm
finish your
batshit
thought.
crazy. Yeah.
You got to be to do this, at least a little bit. You have something wrong
Yeah.
in order to stick with this. Maybe not to try it, but to get into it and stick with it.
Yeah.
Despite all of the pain it comes with. Yeah, you kind of got to be a little crazy. But let's dive into the art aspect of it a little more, because I know that obviously you design a lot of baits, but what sticks out whenever somebody like goes to your Instagram profile or your website is really the paint, because it's very different. You have a ton of guys out here, including myself sometimes, that are seeking out that they're just always trying to reach that perfect realism, right? And you talked about the bluegill a little earlier, and they're always trying to perfect that realism, which is awesome. Like, there are some people that do it incredibly well, and it's like, man, I'd eat that, right? It looks like a real fish. But I know that, and on your website it says that a lot of your art is street art inspired. A lot of your paint jobs are street art inspired, and you showed a couple of them earlier. And if anybody who's familiar with you has seen some of the incredible stuff that you've done, it's not realism, and that's what's great about it, right? Like, it's got heavily influenced in some way, shape, or form artistic vibe to it. And I kind of just like, I want to know, where do you get the ideas for what you're doing? Do you just kind of sit down and whatever happens, or do you pre-plan, or what's your process for whenever you're trying to go through and make something that nobody else is making?
It's weird. It's kind of threefold in a way, and I think Trev will relate to this a lot. The Sixth Sense, when the movie came out, they asked a kid why he draws rainbows and kittens, and he responded, "That's because they don't have meetings about rainbows and kittens." So, as a kid, I would try to draw. I loved art. I loved Van Gogh pieces. I loved Claude Monet, the impressionistic stuff. I loved Basquiat. I loved dudes who did street art, graffiti. Like, I was just enamored by anything visual art, music art. And so I thought I was not a quality artist for a long time because I couldn't do natural art. And I used to be very critical of myself. Like, if this isn't perfect, scrap it, do it again, really judgmental on myself. Like, I had some facade of measure that I had to meet up to. And then I had this epiphany. Nobody's asking for our baits. Nobody's wanting anything we have. We create the demand, right? So I can do natural stuff very well. I have done it before. And occasionally I will, because sometimes you do need to make fish catching baits. And what I mean by that is, if there's a gizzard shad spawn, yeah, I'm going to throw a gizzard shad. There's a time and a place where the visual presentation does make sense. It's the whole argument of what's the best soft plastic color. Well, green pumpkin all day, you're going to slay. You know what I mean? Or black. I know tournament fishers who throw green pumpkin, white, and black, and they don't deviate. They think my stuff's cool, but they'll never buy it because green pumpkin, white, and black catches them fish, right? But I create my demand. Nobody is going to applaud me and pat me on the back for what I do. I mean, I've gained respect for it, which is cool, and that's awesome. But when I look at everything I do, I can stand behind it. I'm proud of myself for what I do because it is a piece of me, truly. I'm not trying to replicate anybody else anymore. I'm me. My style's mine, And that's a hard point to get to as an artist, is to find your style. It's torture. Trev, you've been through that, man. I know you have, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know you have, dude, because you and I are very kindred in that aspect, man. And that's why when I saw Trev's work early on, I was like, dude, that's killer. Run with it. Do your thing. Nobody's asking for your keep doing your thing, and sorry. So when my process is threefold, so sometimes I will get inspired by something. I'll see something and I'm like, that is just awesome. I'm a late 80s or, mid 80s kid, early 90s kid. I grew up with the influence of martial arts and Asian culture, and go to the flea market, get a ninja star, throw it in my brother's back, And so, like, love Asian culture and the Asian art, but I would never want to take from that culture and try to replicate it. I want to do it my own way. You know what I mean? So be inspired by that. I love Celtic art. I love Norse art, so sometimes replicating that. So that's one part of the process. The second part is sometimes I'll look at a bait and I'll be like, that would be an amazing bluegill, but how do I make it a bluegill but not a bluegill? And I was doing a lot of sketch art and what they call cell shading, sort of, because my stuff's sort of cell shading, but not. And I was doing those sketch patterns for a while, and I wanted to make something that looked natural, but not, And so that kind of got me down that process. How can I take something that's already been done, but reinvent it, right? blue ocean versus red ocean strategies, right? And then the third process is insanity. It's sometimes I have something that just pops up here and I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. So I think for Trev, I painted I painted a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle custom for you.
You did, yes.
Yeah. So that one was really cool for me because in my mind, I already had an idea. I knew, like, sometimes when I do custom art, I want to know who the person is who's getting it. I don't want to just be like, here's something cool. I want it to relate to them. And so your wife and I had talked, and she had told me it was a gift for you. And she told me who your favorite turtle was, how you like to use, how you like the Foot Clan. And I was like, I already knew in my mind what insanity I wanted to roll with. And I was nervous about it, man. When I sent it to you, I'm like, I hope he likes it, man. You know,
it came out awesome.
That was cool. But, you know, and then when you see it, you're like, man, that's me. You nailed it, you know, and that's what I try to do sometimes too. I try to really capture something for somebody.
Is it easy or difficult for you to translate these different styles of art to, like, this is a weird this is a weird shaped canvas, right? Like, this is a weird thing to put this on. Does that just come naturally for you, or is that something you had to work on to try to, like, get to look right?
When I was a young artist, like way young, I struggled with I was trying to put myself in a box. So I was trying to be counterculture, but I was following all the rules. And that was the problem. The second I got rid of that, none of that mattered. None of that mattered because I would start turning things into art that shouldn't be art. Like I made a tree in high school and I almost got expelled for this. I made a tree in high school and I put leading cheer team and I had Barbie heads on it and it lit up. And my art teacher was like, absolutely not, get out of here. But everybody else was like, dude, that was cool, you know? And so it kind of spawned with that. Like I started looking at everything like it had potential to be manipulated, you know? A good example of that, it's a very simple thing. It's a bust. This is a bust of Caesar, right? And I'm a huge history dork. So Vae Victis is a saying that Gracchus, one of the Celts, and Baranus, they were a Celtic Germanic tribe and they sacked Rome. They were one of the first people to sack Rome. So I saw this as a pristine white bust and everybody's like, oh, that's really classic. I'm like, I want to destroy you. So I took it and I made it a Celtic warrior with Vae Victis painted on him. Right. And my dad's like, where do you come up with this? And I'm like, well, you know, everybody likes the Romans, right? What about the guys who conquered them? You know? What about those counterculture people, right? And so, like, that's where my brain goes. I'm the guy who took a freaking bulldozer immediately, was like, killdozer. It's just the way my brain works. But, yeah.
That's great. I always like to kind of pick people's brains, especially whenever they have a super unique style, because it's very intriguing to kind of figure out, like, where did that come from and how do you stick with it? Like, how do you keep producing that? How do you have a constant output of new, fresh stuff?
One of the hardest things is finding your muse as a creator, because we're all creators, right? There's a book out there I really, really challenge you to read. It's called The Art of War. And what it talks about is getting in that stalemate and holding pressure to yourself and how to alleviate it. And really what it comes down to is you got to remind yourself as a bait maker that you are putting this out there. You're creating this. This is your baby. Nobody's asking for it. So don't look for validation. And what I mean by that is the second you no longer care about that validation, that muse is cranking all the time. There's a reason why Trev and I can go into a room and crank out 40 baits. You know, it's obsession. And the reason why is we don't really care about other people's validation. We are getting validated through the process, right? So sometimes I throw a donut. I think something's cool. I put it out there and people are like, put the pipe down, you know? Like, dude, one example of that is I thought this was the coolest bait in the world, and apparently nobody wants to buy it ever. But it's like the old school hot rod art, right? Yeah, and I thought that was the coolest thing on a Usuri 3DB, and my website will tell you otherwise.
I think it's cool.
Right? There's just sometimes, you know, you gotta bet on yourself, man. And you're not always going to win doing that, but what you win through that is self-confidence. And, you know, honestly, we can be vulnerable about what other people think. And the internet is an environment of just destroying things that are beautiful. If you want to hate yourself, put out something you love on the internet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you don't care, like Trev and myself, you just visually vomit on Instagram and you're like, take it. That's what it is. And that's really what it comes down to. Every once in a while, I will make an art piece though that is really intentional. because I'm trying to get something out. You mind if I grab something real quick?
No, go for it.
All right.
Please do.
All right. So I made this art piece, right? And what it is these are 9 months worth of mental health medication that I was supposed to take to keep me in line, right? And what snafu means is situation normal all fucked up. So this is very thought provoking in a way because it's drawing attention to something that is near and dear to me, and that's mental health crisis in the military. 22 veterans a day kill themselves, right? And that's not by accident, all right? And some people blame it straight on war. It's not war. It's because you're conditioned to operate at a high function level, but still be a human and be in normal society, right? There's nothing normal about what we do, and you're not going to be okay from that. But this gets people talking about it, and that's the bigger problem, is most people don't talk about it, right? So once they talk about it, they get that out, it actually makes you stronger. Like I used to think I could fight back in the day. Now that I got my mental health in order, if I had to, it's dangerous. And the reason is I'm doing it with intent rather than just being an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Great point. Yeah. And that's, as soon as it's cool because as soon as you showed that and I saw it, I was like, that it clicked with me. It's like exactly what you want to happen is it was thought provoking. I was like, it made sense, even though it's kind of abstract and it made sense. So no, that's really cool. And you've got all kinds of stuff on your website as well, as far as artwork goes. But no, it's all really cool. And it's fun to talk to somebody that's heavily involved in art in general, not just in the bait making space, because we're all artists at some level and we're all trying to improve our art and try to get our art to connect with other people. But it's really cool to see you doing that with, not just baits, but everything else that you're doing. I applaud you for that.
No, thanks, man. I'm also one-sided an idiot though, because I made a lizard bait and stickers like this. So I'm just saying.
I don't see the problem.
We love idiots.
that crappie one, man, that was I parted the sea on that one. 50% of people were like, dude, because they knew what it was right away. And then the other half were like, explain that to me. And then when you do, they're like,
okay.
See, this pretty little female crappie has 4 friends and they're going to welcome her to that couch. Anyway, you can't take us anywhere. Army guys,
it's all right. We're glad you're here, but it is time to take a brief break, and maybe I think, Anthony, do we have a sponsor for this week or no?
I got tired of being belittled by you, so I gave up on this week.
I stopped.
No, Trevor, did he stop? He's such a bully.
I'm scared to answer truthfully.
Right.
No,
exactly. You're bigger than him.
I've been trying to improve my
this
ways.
Week we're sponsored by my remote controller that Jesse threw at me.
And you know what? It's Anthony. It's okay that we don't have a sponsor this week. It's fine. And I am accepting of your efforts, and I appreciate everything that you've done to date. And I think that you are a valuable member of.
Cut the bull. You want to hear what my sponsor was gonna be?
Yes.
So I said to my wife, I said, you want to do the sponsor ad? It'll be a women's support group for women whose husbands started fishing, started making baits, and then joined a bait making podcast. And she's like, I don't want to be on video. And I was like, all right, what if you put makeup on me, give me your hair, and I do it? And she's like, what? And I was like, all right, how about a bonnet? What if I wear a bonnet with makeup? And she's like, that sounds way funnier. And then I was like, I don't have the energy to do all that.
That's fair.
No. So at least you know what it was gonna be.
And you can still do that. We don't have to leave this part in unless you want to.
No, leave this. You could leave that in. I'll get them to sponsor us eventually. And by them, I mean me in makeup. Grandma Rosie reincarnated.
In the future, if you want, I'll sponsor some episodes and stuff too. You can have the Fort Dodge Army recruiting team sponsor you.
There we go. Thing?
That is a real thing. That's a real thing. We sponsor all kinds of stuff all the time at my office.
Really?
So yeah. There's 4 recruiters on my team. Myself, one infantryman who's back crazy, has a love for Disney, but if you ever hear 9 to 5 playing, he's about to murder people. And then Sergeant Washington, he is literally an artilleryman who served in the Ukraine front, which is really weird to hear about. And then Sergeant Ray, who's an air defenseman. We got a weird crew, man.
Wow.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've already done so much. No, that's, again, you're leaving me speechless.
This is what the fishing community is about, though. Like, you are the epitome of like what it's about and why most of us stick to it, even though, you know, we're taking time away from our family or dealing with absolute disasters of projects that just aren't working right. It's because of the fishing community, the bait making community, the people we meet, and like, you know, if something's not working right, we get in our group chat and we're like, this is what it's doing and blah, blah, blah. And then we're just BSing about it all day. And like, something might click. We might figure it out, but at least we're not, you know, doing something we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Not to get too heavy, but man, it's almost like be the example you wish to see, right? You can't change the world, but you can at least control your little 3-foot bubble. And you never know what the hell somebody's going through, man. Like, this can be very cathartic for somebody, and they're fighting a fight they're not talking about, right? And through doing this, you know, you try to embody what you wish to see, because it's like being on a plane. You got to put the mask on yourself before you put on the baby. Nobody's coming to save you, man. So what you can do is you can either add to the problem and be one of those vindictive dudes who's like, no, my micro balloons, right? Or you could be Michael and be like, I have a solution, right? So my thing is like, we, in all facets of what we do, we have to be stewards of what we do as men, right? Because men are retarded. We need strong women. We need people around us to push us. We're cavemen, right? And given our tools, we'll beat the hell out of each other. So what we can do to make that better is just be stewards of it, man. Like, some of the best people I ever met had face tattoos, man. They opened the door. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, right? Some of the craziest people I've ever met, narcissistic, are CEOs, right? So all I'm getting at is we can change all that by simply being what we wish to see. And what I wish to see is this, what I present. You know, I just try to be a part of the solution, man. I'm not holier than thou. I'm not special. I'm not unique. I just give it an earnest effort.
And you set a great example for the rest of us out there that are I'm fairly new to this game, and I know these guys have been doing it for a little longer than I have. And it's hard to figure out what you're supposed to do, right? Like, it's hard to, like, and there are certain things that will set people off that you may not recognize or may not know unless you're like very deep into it, because I spend as little time on social media as I possibly can. And specifically like fishing social media, I don't consume a lot of it. I know, which sounds weird. I probably should consume more. No, but it is kind of hard to figure out, like, what do I need to do to not compromise who I am, but also try to be successful, right?
Yeah.
And I've actually learned a ton just from hearing you talk in our conversation so far. But I will say, you set a great example for, like, be unapologetically you, and be honest, be forthcoming, be blunt. Like, and just lay it all out there, and then, you know, if you build it, they will come, right? Like,
we're all businessmen to a degree. We've all worked jobs. We've all been in the professional element. And there's two trains of thought. You can either set up very healthy boundaries, and this is stringent and deliberate, and this is who I am. And there are bait companies out there. You've seen them, to where they're very streamlined, very professional, and it's very controlled. And that's with intent. It's healthy. It's healthy because they're only letting you see behind the Wizard of Oz so much, right? And that's a good way to compartmentalize that from this, right? And then the other side is Trev and I, where we're just like, Q, I'm here. I don't know how to be. I'm just going to be 100% me and take it or leave it, right? And that's freeing, but it can leave you vulnerable if you give a shit. And what I mean is, I care more about fostering these relationships. I care more about not burning a bridge and keeping an offer open and helping somebody out. I've literally taken hits on creations I've made and gave them, like, here, you can have it, right? Because I didn't want to deal with the toxicity behind it, because it meant more to me to have my integrity than sell my soul. You know what I mean? And that's just how I keep it. That's why I support you guys. I believe in what you're doing. Trev, he knows if he asked me for anything, I'd be behind him all day, just because of what he showed me in return. I was going to talk about this at some point, but something I'm trying to do with my truck stop sushi. Right, my truck stop sushi was always intended to be a hard bait. It was always intended to be a two-piece hybrid swim bait, and the reason why I call it a hybrid swim bait is it's one-piece glide, one-piece swim bait, and you can also chop it. So it covers so many different spectrums. But I built that thing out of inspiration and love of other bait makers, people who got me here today. Right. So one thing I'm going to be doing with the truck stop sushi, and I already reached out to people, huh? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I reached out to artists, not just bait makers, but artists, like actual professional artists who inspired me, got me to where I am today. Like just that I had a love of their stuff, and I took a shot in the dark, and I was like, would you be willing to paint some of my baits? Just because you got me to where I am today. And then I reached out to painters currently who I have mad respect for, and I just love their style, and I have a strong affinity for them. So Trev was one of those. One of my friends, TJ Hatfield, he's coming out of retirement to paint some of the baits. I got Howling Wolf in Japan. There's a guy in Germany. I mean, a slew of people. Spellman Customs, awesome painter out of Havasu, is going to be doing some stuff. And what was crazy is I was willing to pay. I was willing to broker a deal. Hey, I'll sell them, and maybe, we'll split the funds. I'll make it right for you. And every single one of them were like, we're good, man. So in turn with that, I'm going to sell them at a premium. It's going to be called the Elite Artist Series, and it's drawing attention to those artists, their brand, their baits, or what they do. And the money sold from it is going to go to a veterans suicide program, a nonprofit that I know, and also a wild outreach program here that's locally. This guy I know catches condors, raptors, eagles. He spends his own money, nurses them back to health, and puts them out there. So I'm going to take all that and put it towards that. That's what I feel like that would fill my soul if I could do that. A, pay back to the people who got me to where I'm at. B, bring attention to some amazing painters out there, and C, give back in some way,
Yeah. No, that's incredible.
awesome.
Make sure that you send us the info on that whenever it's up and ready. We'll definitely put it on all of our channels. Not that we have a huge following yet, but we will at some point. And we'll help in any way that we can. So let us know. I know Trevor's already helping, but yeah.
I'm sorry I don't have like a fully functional truck stop sushi to show you right now, but my problem is a lot of guys, especially with swim baits, know they can crank something out and throw it out there, get a buck, and it'll fade away. I will not give you anything that I sell beyond a $50 price mark. It better work, right? It better be reliable. It better be worth your money, man. Cause I know how hard I work, So right now, the reason why I don't have a composite, I have a really shitty prototype I could show you, but I don't want to do that.
You're
Dead
right.
Meat Customs is making me customize for it. I've known that dude for a long, long time. Awesome human being,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. And then the tails that I'm working on a very firm but pliable silicone blend. And until I get that right, I will not put that out. So
Fair enough. No,
Yeah.
we'll be up. Well, it takes time. I get it. I've been there. It takes time. So
another
I
collab,
want it to be right.
if I can plug another collab real quick. I said some awesome, healthy things. Now we're going to go off on the deranged front. A bass hole out in California, Superpotamus and I teamed up on a bait, and it is called the Bic Date. Bic Date. All right. Replace the B and the D, and you'll know exactly what it is. So one of my favorite lures of all time, hard top waters, was this head and spook. I love the spook, but there's issues with the way it operates, right? So we were able to get the perfect top water, but we didn't want it to look like everything else. Enter Bic Date. So it is literally, you can see it on my page, a phallic object. Yeah, and the
My
marketing
favorite.
behind that is going to be impossible, but it's very realistic.
We'll leave it to the imaginations.
The novelty of it will make it sell.
100%.
Yeah. So I got that
Wow.
coming. Another collab that's really cool that I'm working on is I'm working on something in the background with Trev. More to come with that. But I have a music group that I work with out in California. I just love their music. I love their idea. And I was like, hey, man, you fish. Why don't we do a collab? So Lake Dub Fishing, he's a fisherman, and Lake Dub Music is doing a collaboration with me for spotty fishing. So I literally designed a lure just for Sammy Dredd, the lead singer. It's a slug bait. They like using these for calicos and spotties. And this is the Dread slug. And it's going to be in a custom profile that he chose, so a trout pattern. And then I'm going to do my Golby, which is this guy here, or my Ani craw. It's a crawfish with an Ani face on it. And those will be in blue crab, and you can get either or package, and we'll have them leveled from the $30 price point all the way to $150. And there's art that we actually collabed on, so you're going to get brand recognition of Lake Dub, help them grow as a band. You're going to get the recognition of the artists involved into it, and also quality baits to put in a Spotty's face hole. Yeah,
I like
There you
that.
go.
yeah,
For sure.
You got a lot going on.
yeah. I bite on too much sometimes. Yeah,
I know the feeling.
He's a pro at that too.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so we've got some awesome lures coming out. I've got that ink series that I was talking about for the Popopotamus. There's 8 of these lures, and they'll never be replicated again. But they're all premium tattoo Japanese style art. Some are neo traditional, right? Just stuff that was stuck in my skull that I had to get out. And this one's probably one of my favorites because I just love bone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then
I have a tattoo that looks like that.
heck yeah, man! I want a tattoo like this. I got to talk to my dude Trev. But yeah, but yeah. So I'm putting out some unique stuff that's like one of one, and just trying to give people a chance to have something that's truly unique. And the one thing I can't stand though is people will buy my lures and they're like, "That's a wall hanger," and I'm like, "Fish it, fish it,
Please,
Yeah.
please.
yeah." So
I get it.
yeah, I'll go more natural on something that's supposed to be natural. And what I mean by that is fish will bite because they're replicating feed or kill. The fish we target, any game fish will either feed or kill. Most of the stuff that I make and that I paint is the kill mechanism. So it could be turd brown and they'll still hit it, right?
Mhm.
If we're really talking about it, like I said, white, black, or green pumpkin, they'll hit it, right? But they're mostly chasing it because of the aggressive movement. So you could put, a naked fat guy on the side and it'd still hit it, right? So I like to bring a little edge to it, but 90% of the bait profiles and the baits that I design are more for that aggressive hit just because I love it. And so if I'm going to give you that, instead of just doing the traditional insert pattern here, I'm going to give you something special.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, we got a couple more questions for you.
Yeah, I'm
here.
sorry.
No. You're good. This has been great. I've enjoyed every second of it. So no, don't apologize. You have nothing to be sorry for. It's been awesome to hear everything that you've said. So, but we do have an obligation because these are our questions that we ask everybody that comes on the show. So they're just for fun. Don't think too hard about it. But the first one is, what do you think is the greatest artificial lure of all time?
All right. I watched the show, so I was thinking about this, man, and because I'm a crazy sumbitch, I have to compartmentalize it. I have to. All right. If you need a single answer, I will give you one answer, but
No, you give whatever answer you want to give or answers.
my favorite lure to existence, there's only 2 of them in the world. My brother made a light wire spinnerbait, and it collapses on itself. And it's actually something he's developing. Dude, something about pecker deep water, getting a bladed bait through there, it like covers the top water aspect, it covers the flash. I mean, it's just amazing. And the spinnerbait hit, oh my God, man, I love that. But head and spook for top water. Any pencil walking bait, I love that. If you dial in your cadence and you work that, there's so many different ways to work that, man, and that's why I love that. That or a hollow body frog. The Senko, though. No, I'm just kidding. The Senko wins every time, man. If you need to catch fish, Senko wins, man. But I love that light wire spinnerbait. Like, it is killer, but there's nothing like having a heavy hit on a big glide bait. Like, I'm talking a 9-inch, 3 to 5 ounce. Hold on. Yeah, anyway, I'll show you later. Hallelujah Baits has this bait that's like ginormous, and I painted a Celtic wolf pattern on it. Dude, the first hit I got on that, I'm like, I'm done. This is all I ever want to do right here. I'll die on this hill. I'm only going to catch 1 fish a year, but I'll die on this hill. Yeah.
But it'll be worth it.
Yeah. You don't get a lot of hits. Some swim bait guys are dialed in, man, and they really know what they're doing. The musky guys, they're incredible, but I'm not that good yet. I'm pretty decent with swim baits and how to read conditions and perfect times when to use them and beyond that. But the guys who are really dialed in can pull fish. Me, I just know that what is going to hit that is going to be quality or aggressive. I've had 1 pound fish hit a 9-ounce bait, and I'm like, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Bluegill. Thank you. Well, like that, dude, the spinnerbait. I've had channel cats hit a spinnerbait, and I'm like, catfish has entered the chat. Why are you here?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this feels big, but it's not fighting like a bass. What is
Yeah.
this? And it's a catfish. That happens more times than you would think.
Yeah. But a really good quality spinnerbait that's light, but good enough to get down, and you can do subsurface. There's nothing like that, man. It is so fun.
Yeah, definitely. My next question is, what is a fun fact about you that the people who follow you or who know you through, maybe they don't know you personally, but they know what you put online, basically. What's something that they would never guess about you? It can be fishing related or non-fishing related, but either way, just something they would never guess.
This is a hard one. I'm a huge fan of musicals and theater. I'm serious. My daughter is some artists are born with talent. Some just develop it through hard work. I'm the hard work variety. My daughter is a savant, man. She's a first chair trumpet. She does acting. She does all this stuff. And I never in a million years thought I would sit through like Hamilton or Les Miserables or something like that and enjoy myself. But I'm like, dude, this is dope. I can get behind it. So I thoroughly actually enjoy that kind of stuff, man.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter has made
I
me.
can see it.
Yeah.
No, for real. You have a artistic mindset, like, it brings that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Another weird fact, I think the 72 two-door Nova is probably one of the greatest muscle cars of all time. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I
Awesome.
wasn't expecting either of that.
That's the fun part about that question. You never know what to expect, and you hear all kinds of great answers. And this definitely didn't disappoint.
I fill my cereal bowl with milk first. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
Get off.
Yeah.
If you do that, leave the country. Leave.
I was
You're
gonna
a
say,
psychopath.
I didn't judge you for anything else, but that one, yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, my son does it all the time. I'm like, what's going on here? What are you doing? And he's like, I'm like,
Wait. I saw a reel on Instagram, and there was this lady talking about her husband, like cheating on her or something, and she's sitting there with a bowl, and she puts the milk in, and she's like talking, and then she gets another bowl of ice, and she puts ice in the milk, and then she gets the milk again. She's putting ice milk over the ice, and then she gets the cereal, and I'm like, I can't watch anymore. What was that? Why did you put ice in it?
I never support cheating. I never agree with it, but I kind of get it.
That's somebody, who
situation.
wipes back to front. I'm just saying.
Well, Chris, Matt, thank you again for joining us. Is there anything else that our audience should know that you got on the way coming up soon or should be on the lookout for?
Oh, man. All right. So big date, Lake Dub collaboration, Peak Bait collaboration, the Truck Stop Sushi drop I'm trying to do prior to Christmas, but again, I'm not going to release it until I know I'm putting quality in people's hands. So those are all real cool things that are coming. I do have a topwater lure that I'm working on right now that looks like a sperm. Legit.
I'm sure it'll work too. I'm sure it'll catch fish 100%.
But
tadpole.
No, man, Michael said it best when he was on. He's an open book and he's willing to help anybody. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not a savant, but what I do well, and I'm willing to help anybody. So if there's anybody out there who wants to reach out, pick brain, whatever, man, I'm down. All right. And then I love helping people out with graphic art and stuff like that. I do charge sometimes. I'm going to be honest because I got to keep Shopify alive or it'll die. But I'll work with people, man. And I love challenges. I love helping people out. So just be good stewards of the bait making community out there. Support this podcast. These guys are taking time away from their family, their lives to do this. And it only grows with community. So if you like them, follow them, support it, follow it on YouTube, share it. When they have content, put it out there because it can be frustrating when you're throwing shit at the wall and it's not sticking. Right. So let's help each other put some feces on the walls. All right.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
we all do. I'm sure. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
But yeah. We'll make sure that we leave links to all of Chris's and Brothers Brimm's stuff in the, what is it called? Not the comment section.
Description below.
The feces wall.
Description below. The feces ball.
Put it on the ball.
No, we'll put it in the description. So make sure that you're following Brothers Brimm Customs on everything and checking out and staying up to date with all these awesome collabs that he's got coming out in the near future. But yeah, now's kind of the time. We've heard a little bit about what Chris has been working on. So let's go around the room and figure out what is everybody else working on right now. Trevor, you are so good at going first.
All right, I'll go
I'll
first.
let you do that.
I am wrapping up my Ninja Turtle custom order. I have 5 nice little raptors I need to add skin to along with a Metro.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to keep me busy. That's all I'm working on. That's bait related for the most part.
Well, and then of course
Very
everything else you've got
bait-related.
going on.
Yeah. I'm burning both ends. I got to, yeah. I'm good.
Take a
I'm
nap.
going to
We
meet in
know.
the middle.
We know. You gonna
should-
sleep
yeah,
tonight? When's the
sleep.
last time you
She's working a nap.
slept?
Well, sleep. I get
What's that?
little sets of semi rest. I don't even sleep. Like I get like an hour at a clip, wake up for an hour, half hour, wake up for 3 hours, an hour. Like I really can't get more than like 3 hours accumulated at one shot.
Busy man, but man, are we appreciative of what you're putting out there? So
For sure.
Well, thank you.
it's good stuff. Cool. Anthony, what about you? Getting ready to go on vacation. I know that.
What am I working
How's
on
that whole not starting
today?
any new projects thing going?
Yeah. I started 2.
Yep.
I started 2 since I stopped and cleared my plate. One is a bullet weight, but it's going to be the shape of a minnow, hopefully. I don't know if it's going to work, but the thought is like the bait chasing the minnow and let the minnow slide. So
Cool.
I got to try that. And then I want to make a twitch bait. So I sculpted a freaking dragon, but that's just more because I wanted to like learn some new stuff in Blender. So it came out pretty cool.
Yeah, it
I'll
did.
try to make it. I did pour
I
the
like it.
mold. I poured the mold for the prototype just so I can see if the base shape will actually work, because it's so simple. But I guess based on weight placement, it could be like a one-piece glide or a twitch bait, or like if I add less weight, it might even want to be a spook. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to turn out to be, but that's
It's
the
gonna be
fun
cool,
of
whatever
it.
it is.
Yeah. So I could have had like 2 days of resting, but instead I started 2 new projects. Chris, I'm on board with you. You have 3 methods of how you do things. I have insanity. It's
Yeah.
just like my eyes open. I get stuff done in the morning. I get in the truck. As soon as the door closes, the ideas start rolling. Trev gets them sometimes. Now that we're in the chat, him and Jesse get them. But before we had the chat, it was just Saturday morning ideas. What do you think about this? What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
You got to
It's
keep
like-
paper next to your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just follow along in our thread of text. I'm like, what idea did I have on Thursday morning before anybody had caffeine?
I have to remind myself I have a day job, or like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm recruiting. Yeah, 'cause I'm like up here, I'm bait making all the time, dude.
Mhm.
What's the saying? Idle minds is a devil's playground or something like that. Idle hands, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Something.
It's like
That's how you go blind.
it's it's constructive
Yes.
or destructive.
Are you excited about vacation?
I'm excited to get there because it's going to be a pain with me, my wife,
New baby.
the baby, and then it's just like Texas is a big state and we're driving 5 hours once we get down there, and but it's going to be cool. I'm going to try some saltwater fishing. I'm going to throw the 2 little lippers that you painted, the 1 big lipper.
Mhm.
What else? Oh, I'm going to bring some of Trev's soft plastics. If something hits those, Trev, I think it's just going to rip the rod into the water. I don't know what kind of fish I'm even fishing for. It could be like a tarpon or something. I could get a shark.
That
I
would be
catch
epic.
I catch like 2-pound bass. They're nothing.
Hold
They
on.
just skip. They skip across the top of the water. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Port Aransas is the fishing capital of Texas, so
Yeah.
maybe
That's
I'll
cool,
catch
man.
something. You ever been there?
Near there.
Awesome.
Near there.
Like Corpus Christi?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Corpus Christi Bay is like
That-
right behind where we're
that's some of the-
staying.
dude, some of the best golf fishing you can do. People laud that all the time. I have a friend in the Army. All he does is like shore fish for like shark and stuff like that. And dude, one of his first recruiting assignments was West Palm Beach, Florida. And he was out there catching these freaking tiger shark and stuff. And I'm like, you're a madman. Dude, I turn into a little bitch when I catch a pike. I'm like, I don't know what to do. The meat noodle's angry, and this dude's manhandling shark. But yeah, no, dude, they got tiny shark out there, all kinds of beautiful fish out there. And this is a really cool area. And inland in that area too is some amazing bass fishing too.
Yeah. We'll be up
Bring
by
the bass gear
Dallas.
too.
Well, I'll be freshwater fishing, but probably not down there, up towards Dallas.
Fair
So
enough.
yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Do not ask for help while you're on this trip because we don't want some guy in New Hampshire sitting on his couch giving advice.
Yeah. Did I tell that story before?
No, but I'm just, reliving it.
Do I have a minute to tell it?
Yeah,
Yes.
go for it. I'm intrigued.
So-
I don't know that I haven't heard this.
So the last year when we went to Texas, I joined a bunch of like Facebook groups like local to where we were staying, and I took a screenshot and I was like, "Show me your honey holes or something." And then I posted in these groups, and I was like, "I'm from out of state. We're staying here for a week. Like, what are some good spots? I don't actually want your grandpa's honey hole. Like, I didn't word it like that, but I was like looking for some good spots." And some guy commented, and he's like, "Why don't you get off your fat ass and walk and find them like the rest of us?" And I was like, "Damn, that's brutal."
Yeah.
So then I click on his profile. He wasn't from Texas. He lived in New Hampshire. This dude was like 650 pounds. All of his pictures were him in the recliner with his dog and a Dr. Pepper. And then, of course, I went down the rabbit hole of just scrolling through his Facebook, and it was like him complaining about there's no Dr. Pepper, or they're getting rid of like the zero sugar one. And I'm like, this dude commented from across the country to talk about me walking to find spots to fish. Like, Facebook can be very toxic. I like
Internet.
Instagram.
Wild place.
Internet in
But-
general.
But Instagram is usually a little better. Like I don't know why. Maybe it's like the age difference from people like that are on Facebook to Instagram, but I don't see that much just like random hatred on Instagram.
Mm.
You post anything on Facebook and somebody will hate you.
Yep.
They hate
Mhm.
everything about you. They hate that you were born. Like, yeah.
Those are the guys who go on Fish Brain and post a marlin in Michigan.
yeah,
I love it.
there's my
Cool.
rant.
No, it's a good story.
Jesse, what do you
Thanks
got
for
going
letting me
on,
get
man?
it out.
What is
Yeah.
Freek Baits up to, man?
So I've been working tirelessly on this mini glide, and I say we're about 2/3 of the way there. I took it out a couple of days ago, a few different configurations of it with the weight and everything. We're just about there, and caught 3 fish on it in a few hours. So that was just blanks, unpainted
Yeah.
blanks. So it did pretty well. There's a couple things that I'm not happy with, so I'm waiting on my fresh order of sack pig micro balloons. Shout out Michael. It should be delivered no, tomorrow's Friday, so Saturday. It should be here Saturday. So I've already got what new configurations I'm going to try, and then around here, because Monday is Labor Day,
Yeah.
and around here, the last place you want to be on Labor Day weekend is the lake.
Amateur hour.
Because-
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably have to wait or go to try to find a small pond or a swimming pool somewhere to try to test them in. But I really want to put some time behind it. But I was really impressed with it. I was throwing on a medium heavy rod with absolutely no issue. It weighs right under an ounce unpainted, so it'll probably be right at an ounce once you get the paint and clear on it. Only missed one bite so I got 4 total bites,
Yeah.
3 fish in the boat. So only missed 1 bite. So the hookup ratio is pretty good on it. It chops like a dream. It glides like a dream. It just won't, it swims better than the first version, but it's more just a very subtle wobble than anything. So I've got a few ideas and thanks to to a conversation that I had.
I feel your pain.
When you get that dialed in, I want to paint a couple if you're willing, like my French ladies.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I would be honored.
That's cool, man.
I'll send you a couple for sure. But yeah, we're getting really, really close. And this one, like you were saying earlier, Chris, I want to make sure that it's perfect. So I'm in the alpha testing now. I'm going to send it out to a bunch of people for beta testing just to get feedback on it and then make final adjustments. And then hopefully by spring, it'll be out there and ready to go. I'm being realistic about that. I'd like for it to be sooner than that, but at latest by spring, it'll be ready to go, because based on the fact that I was able to get 4 bites, catch 3 fish in the span of 4 hours in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
It's pretty, early indications are positive. I'm never going to count any chickens before they hatch, but it's got a certain mojo to it that I'm really excited about. So, and building my process for producing it and taking notes on everything that I want to change and everything that it's doing. So I'm being very, very intentional and tedious with this one. So it's eating up all of my time.
Oh yeah.
I've not worked on anything else at all, except for I've got a new shelf for my shop, which helps. I got all the bait making crap out of the house and into the garage. So I needed a new shelf. I actually probably needed a few new shelves, but I got one. Shout out Harbor Freight. And yeah, it's definitely cleared some space. So we're getting back to production mode.
Dude, shop maintenance is a thing. It's a thing.
It 100% is. And workflow is a thing too. I've found workflow is hugely important, and cleaning up after yourself is very important.
After long project runs, when it looks like somebody blew up my bait cave, I'm like, man, dude, I go OCD, man. I have to.
Yeah, I do eventually, but sometimes I'm just like, I'm going to turn the light off and go inside.
Yeah.
If I can't see it, it doesn't exist.
I go OCD when I do it, and now I avoid it for as long as possible.
Yeah, no, I'm really good at cleaning when I have something else to do.
Yeah.
When I'm putting off something else, I get hospital clean. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, is that glide bait, because I'm excited about it. And there's still more wooden baits to come in the near future, more Freek Files baits on the way, but just trying to get this one good. Don't want to take too much attention away from it. And then all the the life and family, things like that, those are priorities. So we want to make sure you're spending time doing that. But of course, that's it. All right, fellas, it's that time. Question of the week. We did get a couple. I know that we were making some pleas because we were running out of questions of the week. So we got a couple new ones, but we need more. We do this episode, or we do the show 1 episode a week. So that's 1 question a week, because it's the question of the week. But we need more questions. So if you have a question of the week and you'd like for us to answer it on a future episode of the Bait Boys podcast, please leave it down in the comments below, or DM it to us at Bait Boys Podcast on Instagram, or email it to us at baitboyspodcast@gmail.com, or drive to Anthony's house and tell it to him in person, however you need to do it.
That's a good idea.
I'll leave his address in the description below as well. But this week's question actually comes from a past guest on the Bait Boys podcast. Shout out to Jovan from The Real Bass Pursuit. His question this week is, if you had to start over in fishing today with the knowledge that you have now, but you only had $100 for your budget for gear, what setup and baits are you buying and why? So you have $100, all your knowledge, but $100 to get a setup and start fishing. So as always, we'll go guess first.
All right.
So Chris, what do you think?
I'm getting a dock runner, ultralight dock runner, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy a pack of 5/0 hooks, and from there it'll be chaos. Because if all I have is $100, right? I know I'm going to make that experience as memorable as possible. You ever caught a bass on a dock runner?
What's a dock runner? That
my
little
God. Is that like a dock
extendable
demon?
thing?
Jackson, hand me that. Dude, it's a tiny, tiny rod. Hand me that fishing rod real quick, buddy.
So it's just like a dock shooter type thing?
100%. 100%. So
2-foot rod, yeah.
When I have a wild hair up my ass, I will take this thing in microglides, like the little raptors and stuff like that, and fish from my kayak, dude. This thing right here. Yep. Just
What?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. One of the best fishing days I ever had
Okay.
in my life was fishing ultralights in Florida canals for tilapia.
That sounds fun.
That does sound fun. Fighting, a big fish on that.
Yeah.
I've got one that I use for my test, like when I'm testing lures.
Yeah.
It's just in a test tank. So I never thought about actually taking it out to fish with though. That could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or like a lose speed combo, and I'm gonna hit up Trev for a summit, and that's how it's gonna go.
I like it.
Yeah. Trevor, what do you
All right.
$100 set up?
Let me see. Jovan knows it's 2025. Asking this
He
question.
does.
All right.
It's supposed to be tough. It's a tough question. It's supposed
All
to be
right.
hard.
This is
so.
exactly what I'm gonna do, and I've done this kind of. Well, I did. All right. I'm gonna go on Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna find a Lose M1, and I'm gonna buy it for $40. I did do that about 3 years ago. So that's $40. I got a rod, a reel. It came with braid, so I don't need to buy line. So what's that leave me? $60 to splurge? Shit. I mean, I'm gonna hit up a bargain bin somewhere, and then I'm gonna follow Zach to Ollie's, and I'm gonna learn from him because we just got an Ollie's open up here in Connecticut, like close to me. Yeah. So I'm gonna do some homework. I gotta have at least $30 left now after the bargain bin. So yeah, sounds about right. Facebook
Sounds like a
Marketplace,
plan.
bargain
What are you
bin,
doing with the other 30?
Ollie's.
Oh, okay. All on lures at
Buying
Ollie's.
the
Well-
whole shelf at Ollie's.
I didn't say all on lures, but it's stuff needed for my fishing trip. Like,
Gotcha.
why do you need that? I'm gonna come back. So
Bootleg Pringles. They're called potato crisps. You need those.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need Dr. Thunder too.
All the
Dr.
off-brand.
Thunder.
Yeah, like Fago everywhere.
Yeah.
It sounds like a plan. Anthony, what's your $100 budget combo?
All right, I had to grab a piece of paper and start taking notes because I got to do the math. This is what I got so far. $8 for Chinese.
Okay.
So now I got $92 left, and chicken and broccoli, spicy with white rice and a wonton soup. So my belly's
All
full.
that for $8? Wow.
That's damn good.
Lunch special,
I
dude.
know.
If I'm starting this venture, it's not first thing in the morning or at night. Like, it's an afternoon type of thing. I'm just getting into it. I'm going to go get some Chinese. I'm going to get a Red Bull. That's going to bring me down to like, I don't know, 85. They're crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I need a pack of cigarettes. That's 12.
You have
So now I'm
$20
down. Now I'm down to $7. I got $73. So I got the essentials, obviously. I'm going to go to Walmart and get one of those really like orange and white lose spinning combos because they work pretty good. I'm not buying an ugly stick because I hate them. That's probably an unpopular opinion. Some people like them. I don't know why people buy those as a beginner. You can't even set the hook.
I bought one as a seasoned me.
And you like it?
I love it, bro.
Oh,
I
bring
hate it.
up the ugly stick swim bait rod in any swim bait community. They'll tell you how they feel about ugly stick.
I just don't like it. It's too bendy.
If it works, it works, man.
So what am I down to? Like $30? I'm gonna buy just a bunch of Ozark Trail frogs. They're like $1 each. I could fill a whole pocket full of those. That covers top water. I'm definitely buying the absolute cheapest Senkos.
Cream.
Off-brand, obviously. Whatever's in the bins on the bottom. 20-pound braided line. And that's it. Even though the rod can only handle like maybe 4 pound, but I don't run anything under 20 because I want to pull rocks out of the bottom of the lake. Pretty simple.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
What about you?
And I think, you're on the right track there. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but the first thing I'm going to buy is I'm going to go to Walmart and I'm going to get a $60 Abu Garcia Black Max bait caster.
Nice.
Because that was the first bait caster I ever owned because it was the cheapest one I could find. They make them cheaper now, but they're they're bad. And it blew up on me. It blew up on me, but it was, it lasted about a year. So there's 60. I got 40 left. I'm going to need some line. So there's $10. I got 30 left. And then that should be just enough to buy one of Trevor's mini glides. And yeah, I'm set. Good to go.
As long as you don't lose it, you could survive. You could survive on that whole setup you just got for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Trev lost me at it already came with braid.
It did.
That is the most Facebook Marketplace fishing purchase ever. Yes, yeah, I'm tracking. I'm tracking. You buy the rod, you're like, is this line any good? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I wish I had like, $7 or $8 left for McDonald's in there, but if I'm putting priorities, then I got to buy the
and expensive on the rod.
The mini glide from Trev. Yeah. I've tried cheaper bait casters. Like I've been on trips where I'm like, I flew and that's why I bought the travel rod so I could just pack it in my suitcase. But before I had that, I went to Florida for a week and bought just the absolute, it was like a $38 bait casting combo. And it was pure trash. Like it was just absolutely horrible. But I fished with it and I caught a couple of fish on it, but it was not an enjoyable experience. So I would have to go with something it's obviously not the biggest and best. It's not even close, but it's that upper lower tier.
Hey, that Black Max, that touched my soul when you said that. That's how I got started. That and 40-pound braid. I was like, bird's nest, we're going to figure it out.
We're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. Yeah. No, that's what I would go with. But yeah, that has been your question of the week. And it was a good one. That was a fun experiment to see what you would do. Most of the time now we're like any one piece is going to cost more than $100 because like Trev said, it's 2025 and everything is stupid expensive. But anyway, it's a great question. Thank you, Javon, for providing that question of the week. Reminder, please leave your questions of the week in the comments below. And there's a good chance that they will be read and answered on a future episode of the Bait Boys podcast. But fellas, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you once again, Chris, for joining us and for sponsoring the giveaway and for all of the, the advice and enlightening words and good times and funny stuff that you've added to this episode. And you're welcome back anytime. I know I say that to every guest, but I do mean it because every guest we've had has been awesome. And I would love to have any one of them back at any time, but specifically for you, Chris, thank you. We'll definitely have to do this again sometime soon, but don't forget to go enter the giveaway. Instructions in the description. I won't go over all that again, but yeah, thank you, gentlemen. As always, it's a pleasure. Boys. And thank you for sticking through with us to the end. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Great job, guys. We're peaking.
Peak bait. Yeah.
Peaking.